Okay, boom. What up, everyone? Thursday night, week 6. Hopefully, you're doing well in your fantasy leagues. We got a mediocre game, but we got tons to talk about. The injuries just keep rolling up. I think I last week said my team was unbelievable. All my teams are healthy, and now they're all hurt. Couldn't have seen that coming. I got my host, John Mosales. I got my guys, Jason Baum, Brian Shade here, and we're going to be cooking. Jason, so what's shaking?
Hey, not too much. I don't know about you. I cannot stop watching the video of Kyler Murray getting hit in the face with that snap. I think I've watched it upwards of 60 times, and every time somehow it gets funnier.
Okay. And we were on last week with that Rams-Niners game, and I asked you, did the Niners have a chance? Because the spread was moving in the Rams' direction. I mean, if you were drafting fantasy players, you take, 5 Rams before you took a Niner, I guess other than CMC, and then the Niners somehow won. So, right, any given Thursday.
Yeah, any given Thursday for sure. It was definitely an incredible win. I don't want to come reflect in 2 hours because we got a game in 3 days against the Bucs, and I think Baker's going to have a pretty fun day against a team with one of the lowest pressure rates in the league.
Okay. But Brian, what's shaking? We got you. You're up on Thursday night. Eagles-Giants. That should be an easy game, but last week should have been an easy game for the Rams.
Yeah, let's hope it's not a repeat of last week. But I do have the fun fact that I want you guys to guess. We talked about this earlier. Browns are paying 8 quarterbacks at the moment. Can you name all 8?
I mean, Shooter, Dillon, Flacco,
Jameis,
Watson, Jameis.
That's 5.
Kenny Pickett?
Got 2 more.
Baker? Or no, he never got extended.
No.
Good guess.
One of them was traded to the Eagles and then cut.
Was it? Well, it's not Sam Howell, not Tanner McKee. I don't know. Sorry.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Oh, DTR.
DTR.
And one used to be the Patriot savior.
Oh, yeah, Bailey Zappi.
There's number 8.
You got that quick. Okay, yeah. So I guess let's just stay on these quarterbacks. So we got Joe Flacco traded to the Bengals. What do you guys think? Lateral move going from Jake Browning to Joe Flacco? Because Flacco was Cleveland, terrible weapons, right? Judy's back to being a bust. Cedric Tillman got hurt, and he just had tight ends. Jason, what do you think?
I would say it's like being on the floor and taking going up 2 stairs. So it's not much, but it's something. I mean, the Jake Browning situation just became untenable, even though we finally kind of figured it out in garbage time, just to get the Bengals close to covering. But it was just, they had to do something. When I have traded for, as a fantasy fan, I wanted them to trade for Jameis Winston.
Okay.
He's just a perfect gunslinger for that offense and those receivers and those pass catchers. I would say the one guy this actually really positively impacts is Chase Brown. It was decent at dumping the ball off to running backs. So I think you're going to see Chase Brown get a little more pass game work here. And I think it's really going to help him.
That's good. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, Dylan Sampson had a great week 1, right? Just caught 8 balls. Brian, where does your model have? Probably not that much of a difference.
No, not too much of a difference. I mean, it's mostly over-under based. He's a terrible play for fantasy, no matter what team he's on for Flacco.
Really?
I mean, he might run for 3 yards and then 220, 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, maybe, most likely 1. That's just not a good line. I think it's just slightly more consistent than Jake Browning. What you're going to get. Joe Flacco's going to chuck it deep, hope for either a PI call and maybe Chase and Higgins. He's got talented receivers this time around, unlike Cleveland. Hopefully, maybe they can do something with it, maybe not. It's kind of lateral. It's consistently below average instead of Jake Browning could be terrible, maybe average. You at least get a little consistency.
See, I'm kind of the optimistic side because Cleveland, they were no weapons, but their defense was so good, right? They beat Green Bay, 13-10? Now in Cincinnati, I mean, you're going to give up 10 points in the first quarter, right? So, and the weapons upgrade. So, I mean, Flacco doesn't have to do that much, right? Just hit, sail it to Chase, right? You got 2 of the best wide receivers in football. The O-line's the thing I'm worried about, right? Can they, it's just going to be quick hits? Is he going to be able to know the playbook? I just traded for Jamar Chase in the league, so maybe I'm just looking on the rosy side, but Jake Browning sucked, right? You can't get the ball downfield, and Flacco at least can get the ball downfield. And if Chase, you just have to get it close to him.
I kind of disagree. I think Browning was fine when the offensive line wasn't like one of the worst in the league. Like there's a reason they paid him to be a good backup. Now the offensive line is terrible. So obviously you have no time to get it deep. You need a little bit of time to throw it deep because people need to get deep. You can't just snap it and chuck it 80 feet in the air and just hope that someone comes down with it. That's just not really how it works.
That's true, but maybe Flacco's better at making maybe the pre-snap reads, maybe sliding the protections, seeing the blitzes. Because Browning, I don't know. I never really thought he was that good. I thought he was propped up. But okay, so Jason, let's do a quick little injury roundup. So guys, if you got questions, if you're on Twitter, jump over to YouTube, like, subscribe. We'll let the questions hopefully build up for a little bit, and then we'll hit them. So what was it? What was the big injury this week? What, Bucky, Chuba?
Well, Bucky was out last week, and Chuba Hubbard was out last week, and it looks like Chuba Hubbard is trending towards not playing again this week. So, which means we get a Rico Dowdle revenge game against the Cowboys, and that run defense is obviously very good. So Dowdle should have another pretty decent day. Although I don't think he'll put up 30 burger, but I could definitely see him putting up 20 to 24 fantasy points again. Bucky Irving is now dealing with a shoulder issue, and he's trending towards not playing against the Niners. The big injury this past weekend was Amarian Hampton sprained his ankle. Sprained his ankle, was placed on short-term IR. So now the Chargers are out their top two backs in Hampton and Najee Harris. And the backfield now belongs to Hassan Haskins and Kimani Vidal. And your guess is as good as mine on how that one's going to go and how predictable that's going to be. But with the Chargers kind of evolving more into a pass-first offense, I would stay away from it.
Well, right, they lost Joe Alt, they lost Slater, so the O-line's banged up. Brian, does the model any difference between Haskins and Vidal? It seems to me a little bit like the Michael Carter DeMarcado situation, where one's going to take the carries, one will be the receiving back.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell. I mean, the model kind of plugs in what you want it to. Just from last game, it was difficult to tell because Haskins seemed to kind of be like the guy who got the first. Like he worked in a little bit with Hampton. And then once Hampton was out and the game was kind of coming to an end, that's when Vidal started seeing all of his work. So it's just hard to tell who's really the RB2. I think Vidal is a bit better of a pass catching back. So if we're comparing it to Cardinals, I would say Haskins might be more your Carter and Vidal more your DeMarcado.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Okay. So just keeping with those four, how would you rank them for fantasy? Like, would you start Michael Carter? It's Michael Carter, right?
Yeah.
Is he must start this week? Is Haskins must start? Assuming he's going to get carries.
I mean, I don't really know if anyone's must start.
Well, assuming maybe you have Bucky or Chuba, or maybe you have Bucky and Chuba like me, or you had James Conner, or you had Trey Benson, or you had Amarian Hampton, or Najee. We can go forever. Running backs, it's a play.
I have Kimani as the highest out of all of them.
Wow.
But that's a guess. That's very much a guess on like if they split rushing share and Kimani slightly more favored in the passing game. But again, like a lot of the Chargers offense is based off of a good running back stats. Like the way they've been playing the first 5 weeks of the season was based on having a pretty good first round pick at running back. You could easily just see them going more and more into the pass game and almost having like the short pass game to Ladd and to Keenan be more of like the extension of the run game because they just don't have that many bodies.
Kind of like how the Chiefs do it. Okay, Jason, what else we got?
That was all on the injury front, just in terms of, guys coming back or, carryover injuries. Jaylen Warren obviously missed week 4 due to a knee injury and overseas. He is off the injury report now and will play in week 6 for the Steelers against the Browns. So that's definitely a positive development.
Well, let's stay on that for a second. What do you think teams are going to do? Like, so we had Kenny Gainwell came in. I think Bryce guy, you love Gainwell. He dominated, and then we also saw Rico Dowdle dominate for Chuba Hubbard. So now, let's say if both running rooms are healthy, do you think there's a chance the RB2 takes over, or it'll go just committee timeshare?
I always thought Dowdle would have a decent-sized role in Carolina's offense. I mean, the guy ran for 1,000 yards last year, and that didn't just happen by accident. Like, you don't just, sign a guy like that to, be a total backup. I figured he'd get like a 30 to 35% snap share when both guys are healthy. With Warren and Gainwell, I figured kind of the same thing, except more 40 to 45 for Gainwell versus and 50, 55 or 55 to 60 for Jalen Warren.
Okay. Wow, yeah, light on the injuries. So let's talk about some of the guys coming back, right? Because short-term IR is going to expire. So CeeDee Lamb wasn't put there, but do you think he plays this week? And then also your guy George Kittle.
So CeeDee Lamb doesn't look like he's playing this week. He hasn't really started practicing yet. He's just been, he did shed the boot and is doing rehab stuff. George Kittle has announced last week that he is going to likely miss this game against the Bucs, but be back for week 7 against the Falcons. In terms of other guys with the Niners, it is very much trending towards being Ricky Pearsall being out again, Juwan Jennings being out again, and Brock Purdy being out again.
That's nuts. Have they done Pearsall in the IR?
No.
It seemed like this was going to be a long-term injury, and then now it's like he's out early in the week.
No, not yet. It was kind of figured to be a 2-week or so injury. Anytime you have one of those CL ligaments, so ACL, MCL, PCL, you're looking at least a couple weeks. And the way, I know Kyle Shanahan's a little inconspicuous when it comes to
liar.
Yeah, when it comes to injuries and a little, he can kind of throw you one way or anything. It just seemed like this was always going to be at least a couple weeks.
Okay, and so Brian, where do we got Mac Jones again? What did he put up? He was pretty solid last week, right? Was he a top 10 QB?
I don't know off the top of my head. He was definitely solid. I have Purdy in way too many super flex leagues, and I picked up Mac Jones and felt perfectly fine about it. So he's solid. I mean, it's mostly the offense.
Sorry. Do you have him as a top 5 QB again? Whoever the Niners QB is?
I do not. That was a matchup play.
Okay. So, Jason, any of the other injury guys who might be coming back soon? Well, I want to talk about Lamb for a bit, but is there anyone else?
There was nobody on my list that I'm looking at being like, yeah, this guy's coming back. One more injury to report. Brenton Strange was put on, the Jaguars tight end, put on a short-term IR immediately. So he left the game on Monday night due to hip injury, and he's going to miss the next 4.
Is Juwan playing? Juwan Jennings?
Not looking too good for that.
So same San Francisco wide receiver room?
Yep.
I think Jennings has a shot, though.
Yeah, Jennings has more of a chance than Pearsall. Kyle Shanahan said on Monday that he doesn't anticipate Pearsall playing on Sunday.
Do they have the bye next week? Is that why they're being cautious?
No, they got the Sunday night game next week. Their bye is until week 14. So
Ravens are the team that's the bye week, I think.
That's why they're good.
14 is the Niners bye. It's a long climb to that.
So what would you guys do with Lamb? Let's say you're 4-1. Is Lamb a guy you would try and target? And what would you give up for him? Because that Dallas, Pickens. Pickens looks like Lamb. And Lamb is 3 levels better than Pickens. So we extrapolate that, Lamb's looking at wide receiver 2, right? Just below Puka when he comes back. So what would be a good, you're not getting A.J. Brown, or you're not getting Lamb for A.J. Brown.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, if I was giving up A.J. Brown for Lamb, I'd do that in a second. But, yeah, I would not.
JSN, would that be too much?
Yeah, JSN's having JSN right now is right up in that wide receiver 1 mix. And he had a monster game on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a big CD fan. I think it's him and Puka are if you're redrafting right now for wide receivers, I think it's between them 2 for wide receiver 1. And I think that offense has turned out like we wanted it to, with terrible defense, and that offense just has to keep putting up points. Dak is somehow an MVP candidate again, but he's going to blow it like he always does. But it's just that offense is very attractive for fantasy.
Right, yeah, Devontae, top 10. Yeah, no, it's what everyone said. Where are the Bengals from last year, right? It's the Cowboys this year. Unfortunately, I just got Lamb everywhere, and he's killing me. Okay, who else? Anyone else injured coming back? Mike Evans, probably still a little bit away. Plus, he's old.
Yeah, no Mike Evans just yet. Thank God.
Okay, one other guy, Derrick Henry. What do we do about him, right? Because he had the good week 1. He hasn't been good since. They should lean on him, but does he need Lamar Jackson to beast? Because the defense is so bad, he's not involved in the passing game. If they get down 14-3, it's like Justice Hill's taking all the snaps.
Yeah, I think he's going to be terrible this week, and then he goes on a bye. So it's like, do you want to wait a week, maybe buy him on the bye week after I think he will be bad again? That might be the move. The thing is, like, he has such a big name, he's hard to trade for. I'm like in the process of trying to trade for him, and the guy's like asking for CeeDee Lamb back. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, Derrick Henry's like maybe a mid-tier running back too at the moment. Like, even going forward.
His yards per carry is still, I think, 5. He's just not getting the work because the defense is so bad.
Okay, take out the 1 week, and he's been god awful. Like, take out week 1, and he's been terrible. So, like, it's just if somebody is truly like willing to value him at a running back 2, like mid-tier running back 2 level, I'll trade for him because their schedule looks good. But like everything else is saying he's not going to get better until Lamar comes back, in my opinion.
Okay. Jason, you agree? Any Henry takes? I took him 7th in a league, and he's almost killing me.
Yeah, I took him 7th in a league too, but I agree with Brian here. Like, the yards per carry haven't been great outside of a couple, outside of obviously week 1 and 1 carry in week 2 when they played outside of the 25-yard outside of the 25-yard touchdown he had against the Lions. They bottled them up after that.
But a lot of people have the Ravens as one of the best O-lines. So you think, okay, your defense isn't good. You got a bad QB. Let's give him 25 carries and maybe he eats some clock, gain some momentum, break the defense down. Instead, they're just getting down too quickly. Because I remember last year, week 15, they played the Giants in between a bunch of tough games, and they kind of just didn't run him much. And Lamar threw for 5 touchdowns. So they do kind of play schedule with them, but like they're desperate, right? If the Ravens lose this game, aren't they toast?
Yeah, I would say their season is not entirely over, but they're think of it like being in the hospital and you're kind of on life support.
Okay.
The Ravens currently have 4 tackles on the injury report.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, like, their starting left tackle, Ronnie Stanley's been out. And if you have 3 other tackles, that means you're probably not doing too hot in the offensive line room either.
So I got this great little chart here. It's the team running back rush yards before and after contact per carry. Anyone want to guess who's got the worst before contact?
Genty.
What? Whoops. Who?
I'm gonna say the Niners.
No. Who'd you say, Brian?
Genty. Raiders.
Oh, Raiders. So yeah, Raiders are second. Cleveland's worst. 0.45 yards before contact. Vegas is 0.62. San Fran 0.86. So yeah, they're pretty bad. Anyone want to guess who's got the best?
Yards before? Is it the Bucks?
Rams.
That's a good, but they didn't have Vita Vea, so they're bad. They're 0.94. Rams 1.97.
Yeah, Kyron's run the ball very, very well this year. Other than a couple moments here and there, so I'm not really too shocked to hear that.
But isn't that the best stat for evaluating like all the offensive lines in the run game? Because I know Philly is historically amazing at that, right? This year Philly is 1.17, which isn't bad. But then the yards after contact, that's the running back, right? So like Kyron he's getting 1.97 before, but 2.75 after, which I think might be the worst one of the worst in the league. Philly 2.41. Philly is tied with San Fran for the worst after contact. Wow. So would that be an indicative like sell high on CMC but sell low on Saquon? Because if the burst isn't there after contact, right, that's kind of the telltale sign that a running back's kind of trending down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that idea. I mean, Saquon's actually getting touchdowns this year, unlike last year. So he's also way more involved in the pass game. I don't think he's running back 1 like he was last season, but he's still like, I'm starting him as a top 12 option. So I don't know if I really want to sell unless you're getting someone lower down the tier that has a little more up. Like if you're getting 2 upside plays, maybe, but you really got to get a lot for him.
Would you take Bucky Irving for Saquon?
That's pretty close. I would see if I could get a little bit more, but I don't know if the Bucky guy would do it.
Okay. Jason, what about you? CMC? Because it's like he's carrying the team, and just in PPR, those receptions are ungodly. But I think he doesn't have a rushing touchdown. That scares me a little.
Yeah, it's tough, but I think it'll also get better once Kittle comes back because Kittle is just so important to the Niners running game. Like they're a yard or two per carry better when he's on the field, which is when he's not. So I think you'll see those, start to show up a little bit more. But right now he's basically a wide receiver 1 at this point. So you're basically getting a wide receiver 1 in the running back position.
Yeah, which is great. Okay, a couple questions here. Jelko, should I start Dobbs or Wandale? This feels like easy to me. Brian, what does the model say? And Jason we'll go for the vibes first.
I'm going
Dobbs is the model.
Yeah. We gotta let Jason go first.
I'll say, well, it sounds like the model and the vibes are aligning on this one. We're going Dobbs.
Right? I think Dobbs got 4 receiving touchdowns, playing Green Bay's playing Cincy, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, Christian Watson's probably not gonna play. We still got Jaden Reed out. What's the delta here, right? Is it huge? Like, where do you have Dobbs? Is he top 20 wide receiver for you?
I can double check. I do. The big thing that's the difference is Wandale is getting a bigger target share, so it's not like terribly off. The thing that comes is like Green Bay has projected so many more points than the Giants are this week, so that's just like the main thing is that offense is going to score more. So I have like about a point difference, and overall in the wide receiver range, I have Dobbs at he's wide receiver 23, so he's like a low end wide receiver 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a stat. Tell me which QB it is. EPA per dropback, 3rd. PFF pass grade, 4th. Completion percentage over expected, 4th. Passer rating, 4th. Yards per attempt, 4th. Which QB do you think this is? It's not a trick.
Love.
Yeah, yeah, right. So it's like Romeo Dobbs. He's kind of the wide receiver 1 on one of the best QBs in the league in a great matchup. I mean, it's more like who would I start over Dobbs this week?
I was going to say the biggest thing for me when it comes to this is one defense that one of these guys is going against has a pass rush, the other does not. So that means it's going to be easier opportunities to get open versus one quarterback who's what you would hope is going to spend a lot of time running for his life during their
Jalen Carter might be out.
Who?
Jalen Carter for the Eagles might be out.
Yeah.
That changed a lot.
He was out week 1, and people moved the ball. Like they moved the ball pretty well. So
he was in week 1. He took himself out.
Yeah.
He did not play a defensive snap.
Diego says, Bucky's hurt on my team. Mine too. I traded away McBride for Judkins and Kelsey. I mean, my other tight end is Darren Waller. Well, okay. I mean, it's 2 old tight ends who were giving you touchdowns, but I don't know. Do you guys like that? I kind of like it. Judkins is so good, and just getting off the Kyler train. Like, Jason, you like Kyler, right?
No. I can't stand Kyler, but I like him from a fantasy perspective.
Okay. Do you like having guys tied to him? Because like McBride's killing me this season.
No, I just again, it's more so. It's less about Kyler, just so like the early tight end thing. It just always seems like a trap. Like pretty much every year, it just feels like, oh, we stick this tight end early, and it just usually doesn't work.
Yeah, although Kittle, I think, was like tight end 2 for the last 3 years. Yeah. But
I just don't. You got to view it as like McBride for Judkins. Like Kelsey to me, I don't like moving forward because Rashee Rice is coming back, so like they kind of work in the same area of the field.
That's
like Kelsey this week. I have as a top 3 option, just game script and all, but I don't hate it now. If you could potentially get a nice week from Kelsey and then sell him, I think that would be the way to get the most value out of this trade.
Yeah, McBride for Judkins, and that just seems like a fair trade. You just play Kelsey Waller matchup, play Tua at home, not against good teams. But it's there could be a world where both your tight ends are hurt. But yeah, Judkins is stud. He said he's got Rashad White, so you're doing all right. Yep, White's a stud. Okay, next guy, Z Smitty. I've been on an all-time trade run the last few weeks. Okay, traded Judy for DJ Moore. That's just bust for bust. Traded DK and Judkins for Rome and Kraft. Okay, that's not bad. then flip Garrett Wilson, Kraft, and more for CD and Chase Brown. Okay, let's just stay with the end result here. Jason, you like that? I mean, you got CD, and you just said you like Chase Brown, so that sounds pretty good.
I'll say I actually don't like that. Garrett Wilson's finally having that season that we've been waiting for like 3 years with him. He's basically, he's in wide receiver 1 territory right now. He's averaging what it seems like he's getting like 18 or 19 points a week. Tucker Kraft has been a monster at tight end. He would have had an even bigger game a couple weeks ago had he not been stopped at the 1 yard line twice, or the ball didn't like hit the plane or hit the pylon or whatever. And DJ Moore is still a solid option for Caleb Williams right now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that Bears offense has to show after the bye week here.
Okay, I mean, yeah, the Garrett Wilson. What's his target share, Brian? It's like crazy, isn't it?
30 something. Yeah, it's high.
Is that sustainable? Because it's not like they have other weapons.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, recently they've been getting the rookie tight end involved a little bit more. But I think one way to look at this trade is like, all right, you traded Judy, DK, and Judkins and Garrett Wilson. So those 4 are the people you traded out, and you got back at the end of the day Chase Brown, CD, and Rome.
That makes him sound better. Anytime I'm getting Rome, I mean.
Yeah, like that's kind of I like it. I mean, yeah, Judkins, he's a solid player. I mean, Judkins and Garrett Wilson are kind of the guys that I agree. I'm super high on Garrett Wilson too, just because he gets so much volume, but so does Rome. CD could be wide receiver 2 behind Puka, and then Chase Brown for Judkins. I think Brown is an upgrade.
So he shows us his full team here: Bijan, Jacob, CD, Rome, Bowers, Bill, Ridley. So it's a stacked team. I mean, that's a lot of guys. So probably that's, what is this, 10? Would you say 10 team or 12 team league?
He says it's 10 team.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you want the best player in the trade, and it's Lamb.
Yeah.
Boom.
I was gonna say, like, how do we keep like getting these questions with like all these stacked rosters? Like, I'm so jealous.
Back-to-back champ. Congrats. 10-team league, man. It's a lot of monsters.
Yeah.
Okay,
also, you got to join the expert leagues. I rake in my friends leagues or family leagues. That's where people get the great teams.
Yeah. Or if the league's really great, there's always some guy who's like 1-4, and he's just willing to make stupid trades because he doesn't care and he gets kicked out. So let's get on this Thursday night preview, right? So we got a low total. Is this a good game to get fantasy guys in? Because there are a bunch.
Not really. I'm not even the highest on Jalen this week. It's a 40.5 over under. It's just not to me. I think it's a 7-point line. So it's 24-17, basically. Around that is the projected score. I don't love it for fantasy. I mean, you're not going to sit Hurts, Barkley, AJ. I mean, Goddard might be a touchdown bet. I probably wouldn't play him in this game just because of the low over under. For the Giants, I just feel like you're playing Scatabo because you have them, but I don't know who else other than that. Maybe.
Well, it's just we're playing this trick or treat with the Eagles passing game, right? I think last week people thought maybe you'd run against Denver, but they didn't, right? Barkley had 6 carries. They came out slinging, and it was great, right? Devontae was a monster. AJ kind of sucked again. But Hurts has got multiple touchdowns in 3 straight games, I think. The Giants, right, are one of the worst teams against the run, but they've also, I think, the most fantasy points to wide receivers. So do you think this is a pivot run game, go what they do, 180 rush yards, 140 pass yards? Or it's like, hey, let's just keep slinging it? Because they had that team meeting, right?
Sure. I mean, I think this is a game that you get AJ Brown a touchdown, so he shuts up, and then the rest you just win the game.
Okay, Jason, what would you do? So fantasy, would you start if you had AJ and Devontae? Would you start them both?
Well, unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck starting them both in separate leagues because I had a lot of injuries. So on those teams, so against my will, I'm starting both of them tonight. But I'm not happy about it.
Because, I mean, AJ's really got just that one good week, and I think he's outside the top 50 the other weeks.
Yeah, I think he's got a total of 16 fantasy points in the other 4 weeks, feels like.
Yeah, but I mean, the one thing about him is he still has a high target share. Like,
Okay.
I I'm not saying he's like great, but on the season he has a 27% target share.
That is really high. Jesus, is he? Well, I don't know. So what is it? It's just not the volume, or is it their check downs? Because
It's like
I don't watch Philly.
it feels like he like runs a slant and maybe it's a screen and then they chuck it deep sometimes to him. Like it's just not he's not really being schemed open. Like the Eagles offense from what I've seen is like it's almost like they just have like an elementary school like offensive coordinator and yeah, you're just kind of running basic plays. No one's ever really schemed open. They just have so much talent that they can score as a result. Like Barkley rushing looks terrible. Like we already said, like it's just not the offense isn't moving well, but they have so much talent, so they're still going to score. It's maybe they can find a way open on this Giants team. I don't know, but like combined, Devonta and AJ still have 50% of the target share.
Okay. So what are we more worried about if it doesn't go off in this game? If AJ doesn't go off against a team that gives them the most fantasy points to wide receivers, or if Barkley doesn't go off in like the 28th, an EPA rush defense?
I don't expect Barkley to like have a crazy game this game. I could be wrong for that. Like I only have him at like 60 yards. He'll probably score a touchdown, but
Really, 60 yards?
like 65-ish. Yeah, I don't have him that high. I mean, he just hasn't been running the ball well. He hasn't been over 100 at all this season. His highest number, I think, is 88. Like,
and otherwise,
this isn't last
60.
season.
Yeah.
Call me crazy. I just don't take that much stock in the Thursday. Like if a guy goes off or not in a Thursday game, it's a short week. There's a lot that goes into it. I don't take too much stock in individual stats in a Thursday game. There's just so many crazy factors, especially in that stadium.
Yeah. Usually you don't want to start running backs on short weeks, but he only had 6 carries, so it's almost he had a bye.
Yeah, I think he had a good amount of targets. Maybe not actually. Yeah, he wasn't very well used. You are right.
I actually think Saquon's gonna have a good game. I think it's still his former team. I still think he's gonna go back and prove a point.
Right. So Jace, you got some props? Let's do some props.
I do. And we're gonna start right there with the guy I just said is gonna have a good game. So again, these are courtesy of DraftKings, and these are the most recent lines as of right before we went on air. Saquon Barkley, 110 plus rushing yards, plus 181. Jalen Hurts, 10.
Well, we can stay on that for a bit, but you're getting because his number's 86. I kept thinking it would be his average. So okay.
Yeah.
His line's super high. So Brian, you think that line's crazy high, eh? I know you don't like the value of the 110, but even the 86 you don't like?
I have a random prop where I've got the under on him.
Oh wow. the scariest bet in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could first play of the game could be done. Like you never know.
Okay. So Jason, what else you got?
Staying with the Eagles, I've got Jalen Hurts, 10 plus first quarter rushing yards, plus 141. I think I still think that Giants pass rush and that defensive line is so talented, like just on paper. They're going to flush him at one point. He's going to break 1 or 2 and get that number.
Okay. So, Brian, when they do the game script, do you think you watch all the Eagles? Do they factor in? Does Hurts run early a lot? I feel like he usually kind of runs later, tries to get people involved, but
when he runs early, the offense does well.
Yeah, no, I bet.
Like it's just they're so unpredictable week in, week out. Like trying to understand what they do is very frustrating. It's frustrating even though they're 4-1 and like they could have easily been 5-0 or they could easily be 3-3. Like it just is what it is. I think the team is best when he runs. It's just he doesn't. Who knows? They just try to win the game.
What's the NBA comp? Like the 2018 Warriors, like only shooting like mid-range jumpers?
2018 Warriors just shot threes.
I know. I'm saying the comp for Philly because they're not doing what they're just should be amazing, but they're just not doing whatever.
Like a random Spurs team.
Yeah, I go Spurs.
That just messes around like one of the old Duncan, old Parker, and Manu, and then you got like young Kawhi. It's one of those teams where it's just they mess around in the regular season and then they rest everybody. they get in trouble with the league because of a play or not playing people, We can keep going with this if you want.
Jason, I kind of like that bet, first quarter rush yards, because then you're not tied to, nothing's worse than if it's his number's like 39 and a half and you got 41. Now it's a minute left, they're up and they're kneeling, right? And then there's no way to lose a bet than on kneel rush yards. It makes you reevaluate your life choices.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts is very good at losing very few yards on kneel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was going to say 2 for my last 2 on first quarter yard bets. Cooper Kupp 2 weeks ago and CMC last week.
First quarter yard. Okay. Hey, if you're winning, it's the best bet in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, so, 2-0 in the last 2. So, yeah, it's been a good one lately. On the Giants side, I have 2 as well. I have Theo Johnson, 40-plus receiving yards, plus 139. That game sure could get out of hand, and Jackson Dart seemed to find him a lot last week, so I feel like he hit that. And it would not be a New York Giants football game now without me having something for my guy, Cam Scatterbo. Even though Tyrone Tracy is back, Cam Scatterbo, 60-plus rushing yards, plus 154.
Ooh, well, right. So, Brian, the Eagles' rush defense isn't quite what it's been, right? You can run it on a bit. And if Jalen Carter's out, do you think that helps more Scatterbo, Jackson Dart, the pass game? Everyone.
All of the above. I mean, when he's healthy, he's a defensive player of the year candidate. So everything kind
of. Okay. What?
Like if he's out, I'd bet the over.
Oh wow. You think the defense is tied to him? There's that much, eh?
They just watching the first week when he was out, in then out. They did not look good without him.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say if he's out, would you rather start Hurts or Dart?
It's still I'm starting Hurts. That's
okay.
I'm not taking that risk.
I have a question for you, Brian. If Carter doesn't play tonight, would you start the Eagle defense?
Giants had 5 turnovers last week, right?
I think yes, just because I like their defense for regular season, and I don't feel like picking up another defense and dropping them. But that would be I wouldn't like if I'm doing a week long. What's weekly fantasy?
Head? Wait.
Yeah, or if I'm doing like a week long weekly fantasy. Why can't I think of it?
18 league or
that or like DraftKings, the daily fantasy. If I'm doing one of those for the week, there we go. Brain's not working today. But if I was doing a daily fantasy, I wouldn't pay up for them. I would try to avoid them. I just don't think that you wouldn't get the value that you're paying for.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Thursday night game? We'll just kind of move to the week 6 slate.
I mean, I think both tight ends have pretty good touchdown odds. Theo Johnson was plus 410 I saw on FanDuel, and Goddard was plus 250. So
Theo scored in back-to-back games, right? He's got 3 touchdowns last 2 games. That sounds like a great value.
Yeah, and then I mentioned that under bet I had a bet that was Barkley over 10 receiving yards, Theo Johnson over 20 receiving yards, and Barkley's under at 86.5 rushing. That was plus 233.
Okay, nice. I mean, just those Barkley unders. It's just you got to hold your breath every play.
Yeah, people make money betting unders.
I know most people do. That's why I don't make money. I love me some overs. Okay, so Brian, you got to leave early, so we'll just go maybe 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. What's some games? This Carolina Dallas game really has my attention. Would you guys play Tet over AJ Brown? And would you play Rico Dowdle over Saquon?
Tet, I think yes.
Tet for sure.
I think I have Tet at wide receiver 9 this week.
Okay, wow, nice.
That Dallas, it's just so attractive. I mean, I got some names you would not expect in the top 8, but Diggs, I have high. That game, I think I forget what that over-under is. 45. I mean, Diggs has looked good recently.
Yeah,
he was fantastic on Sunday night. And also, Chris Miller was solid as well. I was just really not happy that he got vultured at the 5-yard line each time.
And then didn't he only play like 30 snaps?
I didn't check. I didn't even check it. His target share was like 40-something%.
Yeah. Okay, I got another fun little chart here. It's so Diggs doesn't have a touchdown. He's getting 45%, 45% of his fantasy points from receptions, 55 from yards.
Wow.
Anyone who want to guess who's got the highest percentage of their fantasy points from touchdowns?
Ooh.
We've
Wide
talked about
receiver?
him. Wide receiver, yeah.
You said we have or haven't?
We have.
It's not Rome, is it?
Rome's second, but if you just keep going on that first name, you get the other guy.
Dobbs?
Yeah, Romeo. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that tracks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's some other ones.
Is Johnson up there? Quentin Johnson?
He's
at 27.
Okay.
Interesting. I figured it'd be a little bit low. I'd say I'd be somewhere between like 18 to 20% with him because he's had like the explosive play touchdowns.
Yeah, that's true. Since that 1 yard touchdown probably would, if you get those 1 year touchdowns, that really props it up.
Yeah, I was saying his have been like 50 plus yard bombs.
So okay, bro. What else in the model kind of sticks out as just being a little? It looks like you got DJ Moore really high, considering he hasn't done anything all season.
I mean that game.
You have DJ Moore over Rome Odunze?
No, I don't.
Okay, good.
I don't think so. Oh, maybe I do. Yeah. DJ gets some rushes.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that game just has such a high over under, and I think part of the reason DJ is there is like the rushing touchdowns are split by like the percentage of rushes, and I think Washington gives up a bit more rushing. So if you're expecting more touchdowns through the running game, that could be a reason. But yeah, I mean I wouldn't start DJ over Rome. This is just what the model spits out.
We lose a lot of people. What about Drake London? He was my guy preseason. He's had the one good game. That Buffalo Atlanta game for some reason is fascinating to me because Buffalo's going to be pissed. Atlanta's off the bye. What's the point total for that? What's your model have? Like shootout?
Buffalo Atlanta 49.5. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. I mean, Bijan's a monster. Drake will be good. Like Kyle Pitts, a top option. But like other than those guys, it's Atlanta's pretty much just Bijan and Drake.
Yeah.
Buffalo, that's tough just because they split the wide receivers so much. I mean, Kincaid's kind of been a beast.
Yeah.
He's finally being what everyone wanted him to be like 2 years ago. But
it goes to Jason's tight end point. It's just like I might have to retire my elite tight end. They're killing me this season. It's like,
yeah.
Is he tight end 1? Is Kincaid tight end 1?
We'll have that conversation. Who would you want as tight end 1 moving forward?
If I could have any tight end?
Yeah.
Maybe Jake Ferguson?
Yeah, Ferguson or Kraft.
But with Lamb coming back, I mean, you got to think long term, right? Kraft also, you got Christian Watson and Jaden Reed coming back. I want somebody whose role is going to be like super secure.
What about the guy I have in way too many leagues, Tyler Warren?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're running him, and apparently they might let him throw too.
Yeah, he did that all in college.
Yeah,
he's super versatile.
Maybe you go to rookie tight end. You got Laporta, then you got Bowers, and now you got Tyler Warren.
Wow. Yeah, I got Warren a little bit. Okay. Let's go. Just go like 2 more minutes here. Anything else? Anything anybody wants to hit? Any questions? Any comments? Anything?
I mean, not really. I think Puka, it's just absurd. Like Puka and Bijan, I think have just kind of taken over as like the 2 guys I want. If people don't view them as the top at their position, trade whatever you can to get them.
Bijan that much over Jonathan Taylor just because of the receiving?
Yeah, like I forget where we had maybe it was our internal group chat where someone was like Drake London or Bijan. It's like I think Bijan might be a better pass catcher than Drake at this point.
Yeah, I was saying that was me. I was asking should I offer up Drake London for Bijan?
1,000%. Yeah. Here we go. We got a little question at the end.
Okay. All right, last question. We're gonna go. All right, the top 5 low darts. Well, I don't know what that means, but okay. 0.5 PPR, Flex 1, Brees Hall, Travis Etienne, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr. Good team. Jason, anyone? I mean, I don't even know. Nope. There's just a lot of good options.
A lot of good options here. For me, I am going Brees Hall just because Braylon Allen's out. I don't know how much they entirely trust Isaiah Davis, so he's still going to get pass game work, so I'm going Brees.
Playing Denver, that's kind of rough. Bry, anyone? Who's got the best matchup here?
Trying to find that out. I think Jackson. I think I'd go ETN. That game's supposed to be a bit more high scoring. He's been like Tootin hasn't really taken much from him.
Yeah.
He has the highest floor. I would say highest ceilings probably
Brian
Brees.
Thomas Jr.?
I think Brees maybe. Just that they're not projected to get as many points. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, can't go wrong. Yeah, APN, 0.5 PPR, always good. Sutton's been great, though. Oh, my God. I was doing some research on him today. I can't believe how well he's been playing lately. He's really flying under the radar.
yeah, has he just not scored that much?
Who?
I mean, he like dominated the Eagles, but his line didn't really show it. It just felt like every third down, he just mossed Quinyon Mitchell.
He's getting 32% from receptions, 45% of his points from yards, 22 from touchdowns. So it's a great split.
Yeah.
I just thought he was maybe having kind of a shit year because Bo Nix, but no, I mean he's I think there's like 3 top 15 wide receiver weeks in a row.
Yep, that's how you consistently win.
Okay, that's gonna do it for us. A little just short episode this week because the game's not that great. But what's the game next week? Anyone know? Next Thursday? Oh, I love Jason. Jason, I love when you know everything. My favorite.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I haven't been able to wrap my head around that one yet.
Steelers Bengals. That's going to be an ugly one.
Oh,
yeah.
Steelers Bengals. Okay, whatever. Joe Flacco. Hopefully, 40-year-old in a short week. Okay, predictions tonight. Jason, what do you got?
I got the Eagles winning and covering.
Okay, that's not a score prediction, but okay, Bri?
Score prediction.
Yeah, Eagles and covering. I mean, that's just what the house wants. Although it's probably what I'll take too.
I don't know, probably 24-20 Eagles.
24-20. Okay, wow. I think Eagles going to smack them down. I'm saying 32-13 Philly.
I would love that. Then I can watch the Phillies game, which is on right now.
Yeah, so a game just started, right? First inning.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is not a baseball podcast.
We'll
Not yet. Phillies. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, everyone, all of the episodes aren't available on Twitter, so jump over to YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, comment, or just hit any of us on Twitter, and that's going to do it. And we'll be back Sunday morning for a nice pre-Week 6 slate.